All right, so what is DBT and why should you even care? I like this quote. This is from Tristan Handy. He's the founder and CEO of DBT Labs, and it's analytics teams have a workflow problem. This is really the root of why this whole product and movement was really started to begin with. On one hand, you have software engineering, which is full of great automation. People have processes in place for how they go about development. And then you have analytics over here, which has been kind of this ad hoc type of workflow. You have teams at work, they're in silos, but they're not as efficient as it should be. And it's kind of ripe for change to be had. And that's where DBT comes in. So we keep saying DBT, DBT. Obviously, you've purchased this course, you're probably familiar, but what actually is DBT? Technically, it stands for Data Build Tool, but the way I look at it and the way it's presented is it's both a data transformation tool, so it's a product, but it's also a viewpoint on modern analytics and how things should function. Again, we mentioned the difference between software and data and how there's a workflow problem. So this viewpoint is really critical. Now, why should you care about this? Why is this important? Well, in particular with DBT, this is a tool that's here to stay, in my opinion. First off, there's significant outside investment in DBT Labs, in this whole framework that's being built. If you look at the adoption rate, this graph here is just from 2022, and you can see it's really taking off. So by this point, I can only imagine it's growing even more significantly. And lastly, let me hide my face. There's an amazing open source community. This is built, technically you can use it for free as we're going to do today. The community is amazing. The Slack channel is really popular. We have, at the time of this recording, over 23,000, and the entire company of DBT Labs is really supportive. So all of this combined, DBT is here to stay, and it's important that you learn it because it's going to be something that you'll need to know. So with that said, now we've covered what it is, kind of the setting up the framework for what we're about to cover. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about the DBT viewpoint specifically. Again, we said there's the tool in the viewpoint. So now let's hop into that viewpoint a little more closely.